Hey, Jaden, slow starts were a problem for a bit of this season, but both the last two games you guys have come out firing. What's been the mentality, and how has that kind of helped you guys get the first foot forward in these past two games?
We kind of realized day by day that this is a big part of the season. We kind of got to come out and make the first punch every game because throughout like the first half, three-fourths of the season, we've let the other team punch us in the mouth first. But I feel like we realized in practice, coach has been putting that on us that we got to come out and make that first punch and kind of make that push. And that's what we've been doing these last two games.
What do you think of the play of Quinten Post wearing that mask, I guess with a broken nose? Kind of looks goofy, but it worked for him tonight. What do you think of him?
No, I think it's a great look for him. I remember last year I had that mask, so I know it's hard to wear that, but he was rocking it, so I love it.
Yeah, I go back to like the 80s when Bill Lambier had to wear that thing. So now I'm dating myself. Jaeden, I want to take what Andy asked a little bit of a step further. He mentioned, the first steps forward these last couple wins, and it feels like it's starting to get put together. But when you go back over the season, this is obviously the first production-based wins and putting things together towards the end here. But where did this start? Like, how did this start? If we go back earlier to some of the things that you guys have learned in practice and developed, I know Coach always says, 5-6 months together or stuff like that. But where did this really start to develop and gel?
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us our chemistry has developed a crazy amount over the season. And like right now, I feel like it's starting to just kind of show on the court, really. And we kind of just realized that, especially for our seniors, that's been a big thing. We kind of realized that we have 2, 3 seniors, this is their last few games. So we got to come out and fight for them. We don't want their season to end any way that, that you wouldn't want their season to end.
And separately, the majority of wins this year have been at home. And I know I asked you the other night about playing at home, but being able to win on the road and win a second game on the road, just, what's that like for you guys and being able to put that together and do it in someone else's building?
Yeah, no, that's big for us. Our main thing, especially going on the road, is get roadkill. And that's kind of what we've been trying to do all season, but we've struggled with that. So it's good to come out here and finally get that roadkill that we've been looking for a while.
Jaden, what's it been like embracing this role as a starter every day, playing 35 plus minutes? I know Coach Grant said that, going into the season, you didn't know if that was going to be your role just with the way this roster shook out. So what's it been like as the game slowed down for you? I know you played at the JUCO level and you're not really a freshman in that sense. But what has this process been like for you?
It actually hasn't been as hard. Like I definitely wasn't expecting to come here and play the role I'm playing because I knew there was Makai, lots of other guards on the team that I kind of come and learn from and get my few minutes as a freshman and develop from there. But obviously I had to step into a bigger role and I accepted that. And I kind of appreciate Grant kind of being there for me and like pushing me being in this role. So it's helped a lot.
How's it feel to have the mask off?
Great, honestly, man. My face was watering down with sweat, and it's kind of hard to see sometimes with the freaking glass thing in front of my face, but it worked out.
Second game in a row where you guys went with the two centers. I know you at times are playing with four guards, but for a lot of that game, you had James in there with you. How does it feel for you? I know we talked to James on Monday. He said he loves having you out there too because you guys take attention away from each other. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, definitely. I think it's kind of like old school basketball, I would say, like having two bigger players out there. And for me, it's also kind of, I have to adjust. I have to know the plays at the four because in offense, I will be playing the four. So I also kind of have to adjust my game from outside. But it creates a lot of mismatches because most teams only play with one bigger guy. And then that guy's usually on me or on James, which creates a mismatch on offense. And we managed to make use of that today.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because you're taller than James, but you're sitting in there playing the four. So for you, and are there moments where you like to switch off in there and defensively be able to communicate and say, hey, I've got this guy, let me follow with him versus, just exclusively playing what would be a four?
Definitely. I mean, Coach Grant gives us a lot of freedom. I think he gives me that freedom as well, where I can kind of slip in and out. Like inside outside and make use of that mismatch that's kind of on me to read, and then on defense me and James are really just talking. If we're running back and I'm down first, I will take the big guy and he will take the guard or the four man, and we just talk it out basically.
What's the feeling among the team right now? You've strung together two wins here, and it's been hard to get two in a row for this season, especially on the road to win today. as you're approaching the ACC tournament. What's the feeling among the guys right now?
Man, it feels great. I think we're close to the end of the season right now, so everybody is kind of tired and we're struggling with some injuries, some guys out, but we're trying to keep it together really. And I feel like this team, like we really love each other. We have loved each other throughout the entire year, but right now that's really showing up because we haven't given in. Like we've had some tough patches, some losing streaks, but we have not given up ever. Like we always come up and fight. I feel like some teams in this time of the year kind of struggle with that and kind of don't see the point of it, but we keep fighting. And right now we're how do you say that, like we're seeing the fruits of our labor and getting some wins, so it feels great and we feel great.